What's up, fuckers?
Oh wait, we didn't actually. I didn't press the button
Damn it.
until like there's a slight delay. Okay, so it probably came in
Good
like
start.
halfway
Good start.
through the what part of
Yeah,
the what's
so
up, fuckers.
They call it the fuckers.
Yes,
That's
the
all
fuckers
good.
made it in.
All right, it's good.
All right, hey viewers, I'm Riz13.
And I'm not.
I'm also not.
Very informative. Right. The Obama is representing our boy SatanIsAChillGuy, who we may refer to as Austin,
Yes, sir.
and the guy smoking two, I think, cigarettes at the
Yes.
same time with a beard
Two or
tape
three.
with a beard taped to his face is representing Weebs 2D.
Master of the cock and or balls.
Bablo Slayer, weapons of the 2D.
Close Slayer. Woo! Hot. Oh, I'm guessing we're gonna be okay with just instantly dating anything we.
Yes,
Yeah,
of course.
That's fine.
All right, cool. That's good to know.
We are here recording this on the 5th of December, 2020 at 7:37 Pacific PM Eastern Standard Time.
Good job.
My home address is such and such. My credit card information is this.
Oh, unfortunately, you guys can't see what he posted, so get fucked.
Fucking idiots.
All right.
My social security number is 2498217
People notes.
People
Sex.
notes. I don't think sex is a number unless it's 69.
Of course it is.
All right.
Right.
I want to talk real quick about what gameplay it is we're going to be. So, by the way, Weebs is at the helm playing this video game.
Unfortunately.
what are you going to be doing again? What's the plan?
We're gonna be prime gaming. We're just doing Ares Blade Dash on Talos.
Oh, sounds good. Awesome.
Oh, apparently Bo is playing something. Infinifactory. Let's go, Bo.
Oh, let's go.
Wait, who?
Paul?
What?
Oh, I added Bo and Noah on Steam the other day. I keep getting notifications.
Oh, okay. Bono. I've seen them around. I don't know anything about them, but I'm assuming everything's cool. All right, so so before we actually did this, we did a lot of prep, right? Or
Mhm.
yeah. We have a list of things to do, things to talk about. The first item, we'll say, do you want to like get us started?
Yeah, obviously the most important way for us to start this this little get together, this little podcast, is to all, of course, talk about the above being cock and or balls, for at least 2 hours per section of the cock and or balls, and also dick, and also dicks and 00 cocks some more with some penis talk. And also cock and some balls with little penis. Penis.
Penis, yes.
Wish I could throw up the
The docket.
the document. Maybe we
Yeah.
should. I don't know.
Yeah, fuck
Yeah,
it. Toss
so-
it out there.
Oh God.
It started as like hey, if we're gonna do something like this, we should probably have like a collaborative place where we just write down topic ideas, and then like the word dick got thrown in a good, as well as cock and or balls got thrown in a good like 15 times. Also nards is in there. I think Webbs threw
No,
a nards
I
in.
threw in nards. That
Oh,
was
did
me.
you throw in
Yeah,
nards?
that's
All right, yeah,
that's a
sorry.
wrist specialty.
It is. I have actually never said that word on stream before ever. So
Classic nards
congratulations.
13.
Okay, so how do we start this discussion about cock and or balls and or penis and or
Well, first, I'm gonna jump in the run. You want to give me a
Yeah.
countdown?
I mean, sure.
Yeah, sure.
5, 4,
Okay.
3, 2, 1, 0, go.
All right.
All right,
Thank
amazing.
you.
All right,
what's
so
up, boys?
of all of us, who has the veiniest cock? If you had to guess based off of like just what you know about all of us.
Like out of the three of us,
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm obviously not including.
Yeah, do you like remove yourself from the running?
Well, I mean, is having a veiny cock good?
Depends on who you ask, really.
Yeah. Some people may like the aesthetic of a more veiny cock.
Does refer more like a smooth marble finish?
Yeah. I'm gonna go out on a limb here. Say it is going solely off the veininess of his brain. I think Wrist has the veiniest cock.
Yeah, probably.
As
I can
above,
see
so
that.
below.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Terrible movie, by the way.
I don't even know where that's from, actually.
There's a
It is in fact a movie.
yeah, there's a stupid fucking thriller called As Above, So Below.
Okay, fair enough. I feel like that's
It's-
been used somewhere else, though.
Probably.
It's probably from something. Because nothing cool is ever original. It's always
Yeah, of
stolen
course
from
not.
something else.
Very true. Like all of Austin's stream.
Hey, only like 60% of my stream is borrowed.
You don't
So I
borrow
had to
anything
give it
from your
percentage
stream.
points.
If anything, I borrow things on my stream because I've had streams where I just sit down and watch videos.
Yeah,
Also-
that's
Yeah,
I haven't gone.
That's just
See,
normal.
yeah, you guys both do that. I haven't gone that far. At least I'm producing my own content 100% of the time.
Well, when you
baby.
produce vast volumes of content like I do, you have to, you've got to,
take some liberties.
yeah,
with
you've
the
got to steal
origins of the
content.
content. So are we also looking for hunting blades with this Artemis pickup webs?
Well, he can't get hunting blades because he
No,
has
I have-
Afrocast.
Yeah.
Oh, right. I thought for some reason the dash was a prereq for hunting blades.
I could take special, but like I'm never trying to finish a special, so it's kind of no point.
Yeah,
I could take call. That's a prereq, right?
for
I'm thinking.
No, I
Heartland.
don't think. Oh, for heart end. Maybe.
wait, Artemis Call?
No,
Afro
like
Call?
Afro call.
Afro call.
It can't be because it doesn't inflict weak.
Oh yeah,
Does it
true,
not? I could have
charms.
swore.
Oh, charms.
Yeah,
Oh, there's a
specifically
difference.
charms. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck.
What the fuck, dude?
Where have you been?
Oopsie.
Bablo now fuming to hear that this guy fucking beat him.
Did y'all catch his VOD this morning? He was like very
Yeah.
vocal about it.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah.
And I only tuned in for a good like 15 minutes to see the Bablo
What was
face reveal.
what was he open about?
Oh, he was very wholesome about like he didn't mind losing to me because he thought I was like because I'm good at all weapons, and I'm just like a good player.
Just a smart gamer.
Wee.
I
Yeah.
missed that. I did see Bablo's face reveal. I mean, we might as well start talking about the
Yeah.
bullshit that went on last night. Holy shit! I think that's probably the best. That was probably the best night of Hermes Cup out
Yeah.
of all the Hermes Cups. I don't know if that's a
think
hot
so?
take or not, but
No, I'm inclined to agree. We had 2 reverse sweeps, which is always super hype to see.
yeah.
That's right.
And also we got to see first seed tournament favorite, last Hermes Cup winner, Babloization go down to fucking webs and a more
Fucking
decisive win than his win against Godspeed, which was kind of wild.
Yeah. Look, man, I didn't expect to get this far. I'm very happy.
See, no, here's the part that really fucks me up, right? Is
Mhm.
you were actively like playing Hades when you went against Godspeed. You were actively doing RTA categories. You hadn't slipped into the new-founded Destiny 2 slippery slope you found yourself on, like you did with Bablo, and yet you beat him harder than you beat Godspeed.
Look, man, my match against Godspeed was fucking.
You did die during your match with Godspeed on
I
Lose for Real, to
did,
be
yeah.
fair.
Oh, so we're fucked here, boys.
We're
I don't want
we're
to.
Nah, it's
taking
fine, you
a
got
lot
this.
of damage. I don't know if
It's just elective things, dog. Don't worry about it.
it's true. This is our second DD, third
That's
DD.
You know what?
Just let the company
okay.
go again.
No,
It's
that's
fine.
okay.
It's cool. It's
Maybe
cool.
we're not gonna do blade dash.
It's
I'll
funny
figure something out.
because last night, and this context will be lost to the void later, but Webbs was swearing by this blade dash Demeter Fist build last night. Me and Museus sat with him on stream for like 5 runs. He never won a single run. He died. It
I
was like
never
he
made it
quit.
past.
He just
I
straight
never-
up DQ'd. Just died. DNF'd.
I never made it past Asphodel, dude. It was embarrassing.
I feel like you should have to play this until you actually win a run with it.
Alright, fine.
Unless you... No, the only way you get out of this, of course, is by saying, I was bullshitting, and it's actually terrible, and I didn't...
No,
win it."
I will die on this hill.
Okay.
Then perish.
Well, you have, so... you know.
yeah,
Yeah.
multiple times even.
Yeah. It's good, I swear, dude. I'm just not good. There's a difference between the build being good and me being good.
Look, I get it. We're on the tail end of a big shake-up and balance changes, but I don't think Splash Dash was nerfed enough to just immediately write it off and say Blade Dash is better.
Blade Dash.
Yo, I'm not saying
Passion
Blade
Dash I
Dash
could
is,
maybe see.
I'm not saying Blade Dash is better than Splash Dash. I'm just saying it's an option.
Maybe Hunter Dash, I could see that.
Well,
Plus
for a
the
weapon like
special.
fists, it kind of works out because you don't like the problem with splash dash on fists is that you're knocking people away with your short
Yeah.
little baby arms.
Well, that's when you just get long knuckle every run, and you're like, fine, right?
You can't guarantee that.
Well, I mean, you can if you play better, but I guess you might struggle with it.
I mean, you don't get it every single time. Webbs certainly doesn't, and he's the Bablo Slayer. So
I'm just saying, most of my runs that I've played this build, or at least Zeus already with fucking Splash Dash, I tend to get the long knuckle. Tend to be, my
That's cool.
reach
You
tends
want,
to be quite long.
you want to flex on me a little harder? I'm sorry. We can't always get long knuckle.
I'm saying, just play better.
Just game better. Alright.
Yeah, exactly. Just
Thanks, man.
pick long knuckle more. I don't know what to tell you, dude.
No, I'll keep that in mind.
So what I want to know is, if I end up beating Webbs, does this mean I'm better than Bablo?
Yeah.
Okay. Eh.
Do you know that's how that works?
I think that's how that works. It should be
Like
how it
in-
works.
Like in League of Legends, if you beat someone that's beaten Faker, you're therefore better than Faker.
God, that's a meme I'm familiar with.
Yeah.
Blown
For
kiss.
those of you
Yes,
that
sir.
haven't wasted your life with League of Legends, Faker was widely considered the best player to ever touch the game, if not if not the best.
Talk about how far from grace Doublelift has fallen. It's kind of sad.
He fucking retired.
Then he well, I mean, I know he retired. This was pretty recent, wasn't it? Because I remember he
Yeah,
was
he
playing
retired
some
like
shit.
last week.
Oh, last week?
A week before last, maybe. It happened really recently that D-Lift retired. I think Bjergsen retired. A lot of people
Nice.
retired very recently.
Looking at Bjergsen is freaky as fuck. I remember when he was like a soft-faced little nerd,
Yeah.
tired-looking bitch boy. Now he looks like a fucking mountain man with his
Oh, he shaved after he retired, by the way.
Oh, did he?
The beard's gone, yeah.
Does he still look awesome?
It looks a bit more like a little bitch baby.
Okay.
The beard, he's got one of those faces that are really helped by beards,
Yeah, his face doesn't have a ton of shape. But although I will say, when he started his league career, which is also when I was playing, he was really like, I don't know, he looked kind of boring. But now I see him smiling and shit, and
Yeah.
showing some personality, which is like kind of nice.
I don't know. I was always of the opinion that Bjergsen has been washed since season 4, but there are some people that will ride TSM sticks so fucking hard that they would never be able to see it.
Yeah, I like TSM. I mean, I don't know what version of TSM I like, but I like TSM.
I liked original Cloud9 the most out of any like League of Legends team.
For the fans.
Did you just take a heavy knuckle?
Yeah.
Oh.
Heavy knuckle Athena attack.
Alright, so Webbs has directly nerfed himself now.
Hey, heavy knuckle could be okay.
Yeah, Wrist was like swearing by it the other
I
night.
wasn't swearing by it. I was saying, it's probably it's better now than it was before. 'Cause they increased the attack speed, and they also did something that I didn't know wasn't there until it was mentioned. It locked you in place,
Yeah.
Did you?
I didn't know. I just like thought it felt sluggish, but after learning that it locked you in place, I realized that it sort of keeps you there in the way rail does when you attack, as opposed to fists where you sort of drift, which makes a weird amount of difference.
Yeah, it really does.
See, who's the next match in the Hermes Cup again? I don't remember. It's Elo versus Dunk and
Musaeus versus
JDN.
oh,
Yeah.
all right. Now we have to.
And then Weebs as well.
Yeah, but that's not until next year.
Yeah, that's true.
Just right. It's like a month away, dude.
Dude, it's 20 days till Christmas. Can you believe it?
Fuck, it
Jesus
really
Christ.
is.
20 days to my birthday. Holy shit.
You were born on Christmas?
Yeah.
That's crazy, Doug.
I mean, I guess so. It's just as likely as any other day. Although it is.
Is that how that math checks out? I suppose it
No,
is.
it does check out.
Yeah,
Although
that is how that works.
the odds of me borning on a odds of me
Morning.
the odds of
Yeah.
me being born on a not Christmas day are significantly higher than me being born on Christmas.
Yeah, that's true.
Depends on how you want to look at it. So I think we need to take bets on who's going to win this next Hermes Cup race. This next attack speed.
I've got.
I feel bad for
one-
saying this because now after the fact I've actually interacted with JDN in some capacity. He's a really cool dude, but I
Mhm.
think Musaeus beat JDN. And
Really?
I think so. Well, okay, Hermes Cup 2 Musaeus beats JDN. I don't know. Actually, maybe I think JDN beats Hermes Cup 3 Musaeus, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
How there are
You get
different
what I mean?
versions.
Yeah, like, because
Nice
Hermes Cup 2 Musaeus wasn't spending all of his time working on a mod suite for routing runs,
Oh, thank God.
Oh.
which Hermes Cup 3 Musaeus is now doing, right? So
Yeah, this is true.
This is where we get the R, by the way.
no Meggies.
Yes, sir.
No, sir.
Blown Kiss is actually doing a lot of work there.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
good. Ouchie.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think. I'm just gonna say it. I don't think that Musaeus can beat JDN as Musaeus is now.
Yeah.
I think Musaeus needs some some time in the hyperbolic time chamber or something.
I don't know. Maybe if he. I also know he's not taking this cup super seriously, so he's
Yeah,
probably
that
not
sounds
practicing
like
a ton.
it.
If he like sat down since last night and will grind out a fuck ton of runs between now and next cup, I think he's probably has a pretty good chance, but I just don't think he will.
Yeah, if you
Yeah.
took it seriously, I think he would have a chance,
Yeah, he has the potential to win.
Yeah.
but not the ability to win.
And
I'm
then
gonna. I mean,
It's Dunko versus who?
it's Dunko versus Elo, and I mean, I love Elo.
Yeah,
I don't think Elo
love
has a
to death.
chance in
No.
hell. I don't think Elo has a chance in hell of winning against Dunko. Although, I mean, who knows? Dunko does have the Rona right now, so
yeah,
maybe
this could be Dunko's like Michael Jordan flu game, right? Like
Michael Jordan flu game.
this could be either go very well for Dunko and he has his flu game moment, or it goes absolutely horrible because he does have the COVID.
The other thing about Elo as a player is that he does a lot of whack ass shit.
I wanted to say the same thing.
Like, if you watch him do all weapons, you're gonna see him do like he'll do Poseidon Sword, but he'll do fucking Artie cast or Athena cast or something like that.
He'll do Achilles, but he'll do Bale or Dio cast.
Wait, did you do that in an all weapons?
Yeah,
I think so.
I'm sure I've seen that first.
That's been his most recent thing to do on Achilles, so wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, and I think Elo walks that fine line, and this is a line that I walked when I played League, where I was like, this is fun because it's different, but guys, listen, it's also super viable, right? Like, you guys know what I'm talking about. This was me when I played, and this was an older this was an older version of League. I can't remember. This was before the Ash rework. If you guys remember that.
Oh God, yeah.
Which
So,
I was
season 3, season 4.
Oh, was it? Dear God. I was super
Yeah.
sad about it because I would play what I called Cash Ash.
Oh my God.
The C in Cash Ash stands for cooldown reduction. And you would
what?
just pump out you could pump out super fast volleys, super low cooldown ults, and since the volley sort of went around enemies, or it didn't go around enemies, but it couldn't shotgun, or it couldn't air quotes shotgun. So you'd always hit people. It was amazing. But now the volley just feels like a wet paper towel flying.
Actually, funny enough that you mentioned that, you were ahead of the curve because for a period of time, Cash was what people were doing. Cooldown reduction, W max, and just spam the fucking W off cooldown like Muramana.
Yeah, Muramana, hell yeah. And the thing is, when we played in houses, I pissed so many people off. So like stop doing this. Like, okay, I'll fucking show you. And then I'd like do it and I'd roll them. I'd have like 4 kills and 20 assists because, you're not gonna confirm many kills. The best part is when you like go back to base, just fire an arrow down mid lane, hit someone, and then bait your mid laner into suiciding because you hit the arrow.
My favorite shit about pre-rework Ash, I don't know if you remember this wrist, but the E used to give you bonus gold.
Yes, that was part of the cash part of Cash
Yeah,
Ash.
exactly. See, this is what I thought you would do. I thought you would just max E and buy a Blade of Avarice and then just, get to your crit build faster.
I mean, I think I maxed it second.
Yeah,
like
you would
one
put
point into the queue.
Yeah, I would start W and then put a point into E and then put into Q max W back in the day if I remember correctly. But yeah, no, dude, Ash used to be super fucking cheesy with the extra income. Now there's mythic items in League of Legends. I don't fucking play the game anymore, so I don't know.
League stinky. Why would you play League?
Also, just wanted to point out, Weebs is on record-breaking pace for this build, as he is further than he's ever gone before.
He's literally
I've literally finished runs with this. I swear to God, dude.
Okay. Oh, engulfing! Oh my God.
I think we also have black metal, but it could be
We
thinking
do.
of a different run.
Unless it was last run you've reset since then. Oh, you could have taken exit wounds, dude.
Take exit wounds.
I said could have, not should have.
Okay, I mean, he could have.
Yeah, those are two very different, different things.
I do like that, sort of almost directly after the Hermes Cup, Weebs just has the biggest disaster of a stream in the world.
Oh, was it bad?
I mean,
I went to bed not long after.
I mean, there were many deaths.
Chilling.
We were chilling, but it was very
The stream wasn't bad. The gameplay
the stream
was
was fine. The
Yeah, I had a great
gameplay
time.
was questionable. And if I were Bablo looking upon the thing that I had lost to, I would definitely be
I would have cried.
I would have reevaluated some things.
I had a great time though.
Well, what I'm saying is the Bablo who said, Weebs is a great player, I'm glad to have lost to him, did not watch the follow-up stream. Get fucked, Bablo. Yeah, Bablo, the fucking washed Bjergsen of the TSM that doesn't exist.
He very well could be.
Bablo
Either
washed?
that-
Question mark. Have you found the title?
Either that, or he could have done what a lot of people did when it comes to losing this cup and not been very sad about it because he's free to do whatever he wants in the game again.
True.
Yeah.
Also, Weebs, you're happy to see fucking Thanatos because we can't see your splits. This is IGT, baby.
Yes, sir.
I suppose you're right.
7-minute Elysium, not ideal.
Oh no, you didn't.
fool, you could
why
have gotten the
didn't you go
legendary.
vicious cycles?
I'm fucking scared.
Oh my God!
I got
get
one
it.
DD and no health, dog.
Take Acorn.
Take
No,
Acorn. Did you just call him a pussy for not taking Acorn?
I called him a pussy for buying that health and not going for vicious cycle.
No
yeah.
health, good me save.
While I am happy to have to get, also, fucking Theseus is sliding, man. He's he does not know what to do with these blade rifts. Uh-oh. Hold on, I just want to see if he if our boy Weebs dies. Oh, takes that one out.
I thought I died.
That was one of those.
Ooh, man. Oh, baby.
Oh, that's like when two anime protagonists like cross fists, and you're like, I don't know who won that exchange, but someone did.
Isn't it just protagonists?
Yes, yeah,
it's protagonist.
but you know, you can butcher language.
What this DD so bad?
Instead, you'll just make it even more unlikely that you can afford the next DD you run into.
Well, I'm thinking about engulfing vortex now.
Oh my god.
That's that's fair. And you have Acorn, so you're good.
Time
it'll be
to
fine.
not have a an Ares mini boss. There's one in the shop.
Fuck. Oh no, this is fun.
Yeah, no, this is fine. This is
Yeah,
ideal.
Ideal gaming. I will say, even so, like you're referencing the feeling of, you know, Hermes Cup 3 aspects are really like stinky and bad to play, and losing is a gift, not a
Yeah.
not a loss. I wasn't sure how the writers at Hermes Cup 3 were going to handle Super Soaker, but apparently they still want me in the show.
Also, it's incredibly on brand that the first fuck of Hermes Cup 3 is dropped by Risk 13.
Wait, no, hold on.
It
I
was
think
me.
It was Weebs.
It was.
Oh yeah, it was. Well, no, technically that one's Jared's fault.
That is
Because
on Jerd's,
Jared's didn't pause and or close the stream.
but it's not the first fuck. Yeah.
Oh, man, I was just excited, dog.
I do think it's hilarious to juxtapose Webb's going, you know, yeah, I think I played well, GG's, man. It was a lot of fun to let's fucking go!
Let's fucking go, boys!
But the whole Discord was popping off, to be fair.
Yeah, apparently HC3 chat loved it. They thought it was super funny.
I bet.
I'm just gonna say it. I don't fully understand why we're going for like 100% like PG rating.
I get the thought behind it, but I disagree with the concept. Does that make sense?
Well, like if you're gonna represent the Hades speedrunning, you know, we've got some saucy characters. You know, we like if you go to anyone's stream, we're
we're online.
Large red numbers.
I get what you mean. I don't know. I disagree with the strictly like PG take. But
No, I agree with like Dunko's sentiment about it the other night. Because like people outside of the Hades speedrunning community are gonna like see us, right? And I understand Joe's wanting to like give off a positive impression. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's again, it's where like I get the idea and the approach. I just disagree with it, and if I was in charge, it wouldn't be that way personally.
That's fair. I can understand that mindset. Like I can respect both.
Yeah. And it's not to say I would, like, if I was running Hermes Cup, it wouldn't be like an R-rated production, but probably like a little looser. You know, hey guys, let's try not to say fuck a ton. Let's try not to talk about our cocks too much, you know.
Mistake. But you know, like, if, you know what? When someone rolls 3 times for heart rate and gets on the 3rd try, I want to be able to throw up my hands and go, oh fuck, he got it! You know?
Let's go! I get that.
Oh.
No, we're fine.
We're fine. We're actually good. There's no way we
Red
lose
number
here.
big.
Red number.
Okay, well, don't speak too soon.
We can't lose, chat.
Oh no!
Oh, okay.
Speaking of we can't lose, who's gonna join me in spreading the idea that Haelian is balding?
Yeah, I got you.
Because conceptually I think it's hilarious. Also, I fucking loved the Haelian stinky webs.
You like that shit? I thought it was fucking funny.
I loved Haelian, like... Oh no!
God damn it, dude! Just let me finish a fucking run with it.
You literally can't win.
Son of a
Alright,
bitch.
well, maybe we can lose. Yeah, I liked seeing Haelian, like, continue to see it and then sort of chuckle to himself about it.
Yeah, I went back
He
to
was
the
doing,
VOD
like,
later.
the whole time.
I did not watch through the VOD, unfortunately. But I think it's also like the Haelian Stinky is kind of an inside joke because as I can't remember where in what context I mentioned it, but you and Weebs have a definite affinity for the word stinky. I think it's very
Yeah, you were explaining that to someone who asked why stinky. I don't know, dude. I think it's a good word.
It fits so many, like, it's such a descriptive word.
Yeah,
It fits so many situations.
that run stinky.
Yeah, it means
Well,
so
that
much
Hades fight stinky.
without having to put much thought into it, which I think is about the bar that we're looking for when choosing a word.
Why
Yeah,
use
exactly.
many word when few word do trick?
Few word good.
Brain smooth.
Exactly.
Few
Also,
word
this
good.
is just
Many word I
Beyblades
sleep.
on Achilles.
Yeah, these Beyblades.
Oh,
Let's
God.
go.
Oh,
Getting there immediately.
Yes, sir.
I personally like Infernal Soul on when I run Beyblades.
Nah, stinky. Small balls, dude.
But it makes not getting +1 cast feel so much better.
No, it's easy. I'm gonna get it right here.
No?
nice cast, by the way. Fucking
Yeah.
got him.
Alright. Prediction, he's gonna roll twice and settle for boon rarity.
Prediction, gonna get it first try. Austin's gonna eat shit.
He's gonna roll twice, and
see.
the only good thing is gonna be special damage for a HP loss. All right, let's see.
So,
No.
Wait, he's
wait.
got it. He gets the +1. Wait, okay, so Webbs, remind me, did you take, I think it was in the first race against Bablo, did you end up taking hidden rooms in your first run? Did you miss mid shop there in it?
I think I might have.
Pretty sure
Okay.
he did.
I'm
Also,
fine with
wrist,
taking that gamble though.
speaking of Hermes Cup 3, level with me, buddy.
Yeah.
For Mr. Merciful End himself, when are you gonna settle and actually run Merciful End on Zoo Shield? You are now 0 for 2.
Listen, I'll probably just move to Artie Special.
Yeah, Artie Special is good.
I've been told Artie Special is good by many reliable sources. So we're just gonna do it. I don't want to have to rely on Merciful End, although I do get dicked by not relying on Merciful End too many times.
Consistently have been dicked by not relying on Merciful End.
Consistently.
Let's go,
Hunting Blades!
We're gaming!
Oh, +1 cast, Hunting Blades and Tartarus. Easy.
Also, Wrist, you ran earring strats, but I think your earring was active a good, 20% of the time out of all 3 races.
I think it was active a little bit more than that, but so here's the thing, right? I was torn between basically gambling my entire life to make it good, or to make the most out of it. In order to do that, you'd have to take lasting consequences for. I was scared. I was very scared of dying because that's not a lot of health for something as scary as Hades. Even at FO0, it's pretty spooky. So yeah, I totally expected to die in that race. By the way, I was like, I'm probably gonna die once at least. And I just
managed not to, which is good, but I also don't think you got a ton of value out of your keepsake.
I got a little more value than 20% uptime, I think. Now for the last race, I actually went lasting consequences 2, which was probably a mistake because I was healing a little too much.
If this
I think
PVs, can I just submit this recording that you're doing?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
thanks.
you should be able to.
Sweet.
I think LC3 is sort of the sweet spot on it. I don't think LC4 is worth it. Like, I guess perfect world in a vacuum it is, but we don't live in a perfect world, nor do we live in a vacuum.
We live in.
So I don't think it's worth it.
We live in present year, Hades speedrunning metas. So.
Yeah, which just got a pretty big shakeup recently with the dad keepsake nerf. 30 years from now, when this gets uncovered and Hades is no longer ran, as Summoning Salt is making his video on the Hades community, don't worry, Summoning Salt, I'll fill you in. So back in the day when Hades was fast, we had access to a keepsake called Sigil of the Dead. Now, what this did, it did a lot. The most important thing that it did was gave you 100% increased damage for 2 seconds. On top of that, it started at 30% charge, so you got that every single fucking room, and it was really good. It made you go real fast.
It was people.
As a little bit of extra legacy here, Risk got to discover firsthand what racing against Sigil of the Dead without Sigil of the Dead feels like, and boy howdy did he get his cheeks slapped.
Clapped.
No, they were slapped. They weren't even clapped, dog.
I think clapping is more impactful than slapping. Slapping is like, it can be like soft and wet, but clap is like bam.
As opposed to the hard and dry claps.
Yeah,
exactly.
If you're clapping someone's cheeks, you're getting in there. You're just like grabbing a handful while slapping at high speeds.
Right? I like Jolted to go with your Zeus special.
Thanks, man. I put a lot of thought into it. This isn't Zeuscast. Oh, fuck me.
Oh,
we got there.
No. Okay.
He hasn't seen the video. That's unfortunate. Speaking of, I made a Meg guide, by the way. It's been a very requested thing throughout the community. So the thing in the top left at the very top of his skill bar, that's the companion baddie. It enables you to do the thing that he just did, which is you summon Megra and she puts down five circles in a line on the nearest enemy to you when you cast it. I made a guide on how to effectively use her on all of the mini bosses as well as a couple of bosses within the game. Webbs unfortunately hasn't seen the guide as you saw him absolutely botch his Meg.
No, I forgot we weren't playing Zeuscast Achilles, goddammit.
But if you want to learn how to use it effectively, I got you. Hey man,
Satan,
plugging the Meg guide was on the docket.
Satan, have you watched the Meg guide? I think
I have watched the Meg guide. I made the Meg guide.
You missed a lot of Megs in our Hermes Cup.
I also played a lot of Destiny 2 before my race with you.
And whose fault is that? Oh,
the Bungie's.
True.
Jerdz's. Anyone but mine's, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that.
You're blameless here.
Yeah. I have done no wrong.
Even curious, we're actually on a good pace.
We are, right?
Yeah,
it's
no.
346 in-game time. That's
it was a 7 flat
bad.
coming in, or two.
Oh, shit. Well, if this time's good, then I'll have to cut it out and...
just trim it for Webbs and throw it off to him.
I have to listen to this bullshit.
Yeah, we had a death before this run. Don't you remember?
Yeah, we did have a death. We did die.
We did.
This is
and we did point and we did laugh at him.
True. The proof is here. We can corroborate with the fact that he died. If they don't believe the video,
I definitely saw Webbs 2D die.
I also
Hades
saw.
On Fist.
What's the RTA?
749.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
New Achilles. Fox.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Is Hunting Blades the new merciful end of Achilles?
I've been swearing.
That's what I've been saying,
on Achilles
dude.
forever,
It's good.
Dude.
I mean, but before you get Hunting Blades, What are you doing with your life?
Just
Getting
hunting
flurry
blade,
jab and attacking
dumbass.
with arty attack. What? What else do you do with Achilles spear?
Oh, speaking of,
Oh, there's
I
flurry jab.
personally start all my Achilles spear runs with flurry jab.
Naturally.
It happened in my all aspects.
I'd have to say I'm glad that me and Kron, but specifically me, was the first one to do nice triple jab, by the way, idiot.
Lamau, pee laugh.
Me and Kron were the first ones to do Super Soaker.
Oh,
After
yeah.
the world has been requesting it every time Lucifer's been picked. I was like, no, I'm going to go Zeus attack.
See, I at least spared them the trouble of falling asleep to a Lucifer run by banning it.
Like to be honest though, Lucifer runs are actually fucking fast, dude. Like
that's what I've been saying from the
I
jump.
hate
Dude.
Lucifer though. I don't like it as an aspect. It doesn't mesh well with my brain.
your wrinkly aged Yoda
No.
brain.
No. You're the one with the wrinkly brain. My brain is nice and smooth. Wrinkles are stinky.
Honest question though, like,
Mhm.
do we think that Lucifer could potentially
Be the rail meta.
be a option and you're not crazy?
I think it can be an option, and I don't think you're crazy for it, but I don't think it's the option.
Yeah, I'd agree with that actually.
Okay.
I mean, like Eris still exists, so why the
Eris
fuck
is
would
still
River?
the option,
Yeah.
right? Even
Yeah.
post nerf, Eris
Mirage
is still
shot. Oh my
Is
by
there-
and far the option. Which I think they nerfed Eris in a very smart way, but if you are good at the game, it's a very negligible way, right?
Yeah, which I think is like also I won't take all credit. I will take some credit though, because I went back and forth with Amir on this a lot, and he was like, how are we gonna change Eris Rail? I was like, oh, like you can. At one point, he proposed a nerf to both the duration and the damage. I was
No,
like,
it's a one or the other thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
I was like, listen, from a perceptual standpoint, you're nerfing two things, but really, you're only nerfing one, and you don't need the nerf on the damage. If you nerf the duration, you'll get everything you want. The damage will be a little less because the uptime will be a little bit less unless you're like really, really good and mindful. So you're kind of doing both already. And I think the other thing they wanted was to make the gameplay a little more interesting, requiring you to be a little more active, and kind of like how with Achilles Spear, you have to be very mindful of how many charges you have. I think the same, and like having optimal uptime and like keeping track of your Achilles charges is kind of how you can sort of see the skill and I guess experience in a player. You can kind of see that a little bit more with Eris. I suppose just mash button, go fast.
Go brrr. What else was changed? 15% crit chance for Zagbo. It's like
15?
kind of
Snore.
interesting. 15%.
Did they?
Yeah.
Is it 25% now?
No, it's 15% now.
Yeah, it's like a
Oh.
basic.
5%.
Okay. When I tried it,
No,
on
they
the-
didn't increase it. Yeah, sorry, I didn't phrase that well. It's now 15% crit chance, up from 10%.
Okay. When I tried it on the test realm, it was 20%,
Yeah.
and I was like, "Damn, that's pretty good."
Another bow special nerf, I'm pretty sure, went through.
Was there?
Really?
I think
I don't remember any.
I
of
think
that.
one of the hammers got nerfed or something.
They did
Like
not.
an arrow got taken off,
Um,
or did they go back on it?
So they were planning on doing that, but then they reverted it for some reason. So
Okay.
Relentless Volley is the same.
Okay, good. What else was there? Shackle buff, but that's not super meaningful. I think Hades keepsake, and then the input buffering on Achilles actually being good and existing were the like big meaningful changes that happened this patch.
Well, Sea Storm was
Oh yeah,
changed a
well,
little bit.
I don't know. It's because I had mentally shifted so far away from must-have Sea Storm, right? And so it's like it sucks that a nice to have won't be attainable without going out of your way for it now, but at the same
Yeah.
time it was a nice to have as opposed to a need to have.
Yeah, like I didn't know any top player that was actively seeking out Sea Storm. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like in Jolted or Breaking Wave at a decent rarity, I'd take over Sea Storm anyway, so
Yeah, exactly. Shit at the Aries.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I fully agree with. I mean, it doesn't change too much, but at the same time, when the fuck are you going to get Sea Storm now? Like,
I guess that's fair.
I don't know, you get like Poseidon cast, or if you're not a cast build, it's just like a thing that happens when you pick up because your first Poseidon doesn't give you the dash, you know?
yeah, I just don't think it's good enough to justify that level of like nerfage or inconsistency.
Yeah, I guess it was ultimately just like a twofold thing for hitting Eris, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, it
so-
also makes it fall in line with like the rest of the dashes, right? Because like they solely wanted them to be like a utility thing instead, or at least that's how it comes off. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can see that. Are any other dashes prereqs for things? The Zeus dash is prereq for Scent Feast, right?
Yeah.
Yes, Dio Dash is also a prereq for Blackout now.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah, baby.
Forgot about that one. I haven't played around with it, but I'm imagining it's pretty pog. That's just an extra thing to fucking stumble into on Beowulf.
Hell
It's
yeah.
like, ooh, that's nice.
Beowulf does a lot of stumbling into things.
That it does.
That's why you gotta run God's Legacy just to pick him up.
Yeah, exactly. You just take God's Legacy and see what happens. Get your Mirage shot, everything else, what happens, happens.
Basically.
Please, thank you. Vicious cycle. Let's go.
my God.
Oh,
You
two
fucking
vicious
got
cycles in
there.
a row.
Yes, sir.
What's our pace entering Hades?
It's gonna be like a 1540-ish,
Damn.
Okay.
That's pretty good.
Like a
47.
16 something run?
It could be, yeah.
With hunting blades, probably.
Yeah, like a mid 16, high 16 ballpark.
Gonna submit this to the boards.
Unless Webs dies like twice and eats a lot of fucking time to DDs.
I mean, you know, I do have serrated. It is a possibility.
That is true. Poor fucking Farticus, man.
Can we talk about how persistent and completely fucked Farticus is by all weapons?
Yeah.
I feel so bad for him. He just needs that one run, man. I believe in him.
Yeah. For context, poor old Farticus, our resident fast Tetris player and overall smooth-voiced gamer, he's been doing all weapons for, I think, basically since when I can remember.
Like, since before I started playing the game.
Yeah. And he just eats it every time to fucking, I don't know, to Achilles spear, to Eris rail, to something like he'll be on great paces, but then he'll just die or rip it somehow, like due to bad luck or what do we get?
It was your 17-10.
Yeah, it's still pretty good though.
It's still a good time.
Yeah, still good. Sub 10 IGT.
Yeah, yeah.
sir.
Better than my average killer.
Imagine caring about IGT could never be me, dog.
Not former world record holder for IGT. Satan is a chill guy.
No, sir.
We've all had the record for any heat at one point, right?
I have not.
Listen,
I
Get
never-
fucking
he's never
owned.
fucking
Hey, I never
cared about
grinded
him,
it. You
bro.
get fucking owned. I dodged it, man. I just Matrix dodged away. I'm like, nope. In the same way, I Matrix dodged out of watching Darling and the Franks when it came out. I was like, I'm peasing out of here,
Fuck that show. That show is so bad.
dude. Before anyone was catching on to the fact that it was bad, I got that feeling in my loins. I was like,
Your
I don't know.
spider senses tingle, and you're like, this is gonna end up dog shit, isn't it?
I
And it
couldn't put
does.
my finger on it. I was like, this show looks fine. It smells fine. Even tastes fine. But something ain't right. Something's fishy. So like, nah, this show's for nerds and losers. And sure enough, it was.
But 02 though, she's so cute.
Stay mad, weebs.
Alright, you want to segue into some anime shit now? Or I guess,
Speaking of weebs,
yeah. Alright, cool.
perfect
We
time to
can.
segue away.
Alright, fine. I guess we can do that.
What's the time looking like on the recording?
About an hour
We're
in.
at 50 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay,
that was
cool.
right.
That sounds about right. Like 2 any heat runs.
Yeah.
Like 1.5, really.
Yeah. So
yeah.
so we did some homework for we have officially
Well-
entered the media section. Holy shit. Of this
Yes,
Well-
sir.
dumpster trash fire.
Sir, allow me to rephrase for you. 2 of us did some homework. The other one turned it in incomplete. But it's fine. They read the Spark Notes.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's
I would
true.
pass the quiz with at least like a C.
You would pass the quiz, but it would be unfair to the other students. So we're gonna let you retake the test later, but you're on thin ice, buddy. if you don't start getting your grades up, start paying attention in class, you're gonna have to stick around for another year, and no one wants that.
Oh no, sir.
What are we gonna tell your parents?
Oh god.
What's
They would
Ma
not be
2D gonna think?
What's a mom 2D gonna think?
No, Ma 2D is grandma.
Oh.
She's not gonna give a shit. She's gonna be like, "What the fuck are you talking about? What's a Twitch? What the fuck is blood and Talkness?
What's an anime?
What's a weeb? What are milkers?
What are milkers?
What do you mean vibing with the boys?
There's
What's a vibe?
surprising lack of, maybe not surprising, but also disappointing lack of milkers in Sakamoto.
Dude, what? No, there was that
mean-
one episode where he like ties the curtains into boobs.
True.
That was
True.
All right, so we sat down. It was originally gonna be a thing that we were gonna watch together, and then we decided to talk about it here. And as such, it was easier for us to step away and watch alone. But we recently watched "Haven't You Heard I'm Sakamoto." Fantastic, very fun, just satirical, like comedy slice of life type of thing.
I'm not sure if it's satirical, but it's.
Comedic slice of
comedic.
life is what I was looking
Yeah,
for.
there you go.
I'm not sure what it's satiring.
Slice of life anime, if I had to guess.
I mean, it doesn't
Sure.
seem to be satire though.
Yeah, no, it's more comedy than anything. But the basic premise is there is a high schooler. His name is Sakamoto, and he is so goddamn cool.
Like way too fucking cool. His cock and balls are massive.
I mean, they probably are.
Oh.
We actually don't know for sure.
Hmm
He definitely fucks. Although,
No, that's the thing. He doesn't fuck.
Yeah,
They-
he
why?
actively chooses not to
that's
fuck.
true. He dodges the fucking.
Sakamoto is the ultimate volcel.
I don't know what that means.
So you know what an incel is, right?
Oh,
An
okay.
involuntarily
alright,
celibate person.
yes,
a volcel is
yes,
a voluntarily
okay,
celibate
alright.
person.
I got
Mhm.
it. Although, so Sakamoto is very, like, it's not even like he's choosing not to, but he's just focused on other things that make him cooler than someone who
He
would.
just doesn't care, and that makes it so much cooler.
He's so cool. I will say one downside to the show, I think, is it starts very strong and sort of gradually gets a bit worse as it goes on. The last 2 episodes are pretty solid, but
Hmm
the stuff sort of like in the middle and towards the tail end wasn't great in my opinion.
Yeah, I'd agree with that actually, because like they start to try to focus more on the characters and shit. and
Yeah.
it's like that's not what I'm here for. Make me laugh, you stupid Japanese anime. And it just doesn't. It still does that, but not to the same degree. You know what I mean?
the like sports day episode where like they were doing like the relay race and that one girl fucking chokes it and everyone and like all the other women including the old woman is like calling her like a dumb slut and stuff. Like that episode was funny, but I was so fucking bored throughout 90% of it. Like the bit of everyone being mad at her for fucking it up, like fucking up Sakamoto's past was hilarious, but other than that, it didn't really have a ton going for it.
Very true.
I will speak to something that I did that I don't think the other boys did is controversial opinion, but I watched the dub because I've already seen the sub.
How was the dub?
Dude.
So it was fine.
That's not controversial at all. That's like the easiest opinion to have.
Well,
This
okay.
dub was
So
fine.
it's some voices were good, particularly the fat kid's mom. Perfect voice for the role. A lot of like the female classmate voices were kind of dog shit, and a lot of the delivery of their lines was pretty bad, in my opinion. But like the mom voice was fucking perfect. Sakamoto's voice was good. The narrator was pretty good, and like the delinquent boys were like fine.
I disagree actually. So hear me out. This is what I did. I watched the first 6 subbed, and then
Okay.
Well, I didn't finish it clearly, but the last half I had watched the dub. And I remember the first episode after switching from the dub, I immediately hated Sakamoto's voice.
Really?
Yeah. I think the Jap or like the original voice cast or like the original voice actor for Sakamoto was just way better.
Oh
It
yeah,
fit the
I will
character.
say I liked both voices a lot. There
Yeah,
is
like,
there is something that goes towards the very cool guy also having a like traditional cool guy Japanese voice actor, right? To add to the character.
Yeah.
What was the
but I
dub-
think
what was the dub's voice like?
It was it just felt bland. Like it was just very normal. Like normal anime like shonen perfect.
I think that made it funnier though.
You think?
He had like sort of like the voice actor was sort of like normal and not super extraordinary. I think that was pretty on brand for Sakamoto's character, even though like he's so fucking cool. It's not like he's so fucking cool because he's actively trying to be so fucking cool. He's just like an extraordinary dude, right?
I guess that's fair.
Yeah. I enjoyed this for the same reason I enjoy a lot of things and it's actually been a long time since I've sat down to watch anime. I sort of took a break after getting some major fatigue, trying to keep up with the seasons as it came out with my buddy, and I just watched too much anime. But
that shit's exhausting.
But the thing that anime does that, and I'm not saying this like shit on American cartoons because they're great American cartoons, but one thing that Japanese, sure, at the very least anime, tends to do really well is make things way cooler than they have any right to be.
Yeah. Fucking, I love that Sakamoto has like secret techniques for every situation. It's so fucking funny.
Just a seamless incorporation of like anime fighting tropes into what is supposed to be a real life scenario.
Yeah.
Where he fences a bee with a compass or whatever.
I also love we watch this episode together, and the show sometimes sometimes does this, where like the other characters, because like everyone has the perception that Sakamoto is so fucking cool. And it's the episode where they kidnapped his friend and there's like a fire in that storage room, right? And so they thought, oh, he's moving so fast and he's gonna make a wind to put out the fire. But it was actually just getting the teachers downstairs' attention to open the door.
Yeah, those are some really clever moments. Although I don't think we really had any of those clever moments later in the show. I still don't think.
No, you remember the first time they introduced Hayabusa and they're doing that like sumo shit in the rain?
Yes.
Oh yeah, with the lightning rod bit.
Oh yeah,
where they were all convinced
that.
he was trying to be a lightning rod.
Yeah,
he was hailing
he's
a
just
cab.
like actually calling a cab.
Because he's such a great guy.
Yeah. He's like, here, dog, I got you. Don't get sick.
Also, I think my favorite just continuous bit throughout the entire show is after the first episode with the bee. the dude that has like the guy that was supposed to be a model or whatever.
Yeah.
After he strips down to his underwear, he just never puts his clothes back on.
I don't know how you're supposed to get away with that in a real life school. I mean,
he just does it, and no one fully acknowledges it other than like a few offhanded comments here and there.
Yeah,
and I think it was such a good bit.
in fact, one of his stunts is getting basically naked,
Yeah,
and that's when people notice, like, oh my god, he's running around nude. And he was doing it to like distract from like someone else's failure in that
Yeah,
track.
the track one.
But it's like he's been doing this whole time. Have you not noticed? Like,
No, the
his
final
his
show was
moves
the-
are just flopping around.
Yeah. The boxers had to go, and then everyone. It was a
yeah,
problem.
yeah,
That's where the
that's
line is.
Yeah.
I did. As much as I was shitting on the back half, I did quite like how they did the last two episodes as sort of like the first connected story between episodes, really. With what was it? Dude with a beanie. That's how my brain is always remembering him. Can't remember his name.
Akini or something, or
Akini.
or it started with an A.
It's Achan.
Yeah, Achan.
Oh, okay, Achan.
The way that they had him sort of like suddenly go insane and hate Sakamoto, and in typical Sakamoto fashion, he turns that around during the graduation speech as Achan is literally attacking him with a bat. I definitely liked that, and just sort of seeing a show that didn't do a lot of like connected things, end up doing something that was connected was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I liked that episode. It got me. I was like, you know what? We do need someone in our lives like Sakamoto to believe in us when we can't believe in ourselves.
Great fucking speech. Very good speech. You should go back and just watch the speech bit if you get the chance, Webs.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna go finish like the last 2 or 3 on my own time. I just didn't
The third
have the time.
episode, or not the third, the 13th is like an OVA that they did where
You don't really need to watch it.
you don't need to watch it. It's sort of funny. I was lukewarm the first time I watched it. I didn't rewatch it for the second time. I may do that
I
sometime.
thumbed through it.
Mhm.
But the basic premise is the show ends with Sakamoto leaving to join like a space camp or something, right? And it's just all of the classmates speculating what he's doing. Like the characters are like there's consistent side characters, but they change based on who's like telling the story and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what the OVA was.
Okay.
And
Cool.
I didn't love it, didn't hate it when I watched it the first time. I'm sure I'd feel the same way the second time through.
One thing that this show also does is sort of goes in. It cashes in on something else that anime seems to do that nothing else basically does, which is have a character who you basically know can't fail in any particular way. So like when you watch Star Wars or whatever, you know that the main character is going to win because it's not that kind of story where the main character is going to lose, but the story still like kind of pretends that you might not make it, you know? And I mean Sakamoto is obviously very comedic, but it makes no pretense as to whether or not Sakamoto is ever going to come out not on top. He's always going to do something awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like One Punch Man.
Yeah, I was about to say that. It's just like One Punch Man.
Although when you compare Sakamoto to One Punch Man, which I don't know if is fair, at least season 1, I think it's a little more obvious that One Punch Man cashes in on that effect that an all-powerful main character has on the world, because like it's sort of a hard line to walk, right? Because One Punch Man is about Saitama, but it's really about how he affects people around him.
Yeah.
He's not going to really move much as a character.
The more I'm thinking about it, you can make a lot of parallels between OPM and Sakamoto. Because like in the same idea, the show is less about Sakamoto and more about like his classmates and how they think of him and the stuff that he's doing that affects them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sakamoto's just like a centerpiece. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not the main character, but he's always. I mean, he is the main character, but it's not a. It's also about him, but it's not like that's what I'm saying. It's like a weird line you have to walk.
Yeah, it's like one of those shows that it's held together by the supporting cast rather than the character. I think.
Absolutely.
But I think the supporting cast in something like One Punch Man is a little more pronounced and fleshed out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's like the parts with Sakamoto were really good, but when we were like starting to focus more on the side characters, I was like, just get me back to Sakamoto, please.
Yeah,
I want to see the cool guy do cool stuff.
Yeah, exactly. It's a hard transition. This is actually kind of why I liked. I don't know. Did you guys watch The Witcher? Show?
Yeah.
I got similar vibes from The Witcher, where like Geralt, played by Henry Cavill, really good, by the way. Like he's there for a lot of things, but it's really just him wandering around and having shit happen around him. And he's not really personally involved in a lot of it, and I kind of liked that because that, again, like this is something that anime seems to do a lot, and American shows and stuff don't seem to represent that kind of storytelling very much, and it was nice to see that. So even though I don't think The Witcher was like a masterpiece, it did something really good, really well.
Man, get fucked, American animation industry.
That's
you
right.
ain't shit.
Stop sucking dick.
I know Riz disagrees with me on this, but there is only one really good. There's a couple, but there's one very good American animated piece of media. And I will die on the hill that is Avatar: The Last Airbender, even if you fucking hate it.
I never said I hated Avatar: The Last Airbender. Why are you putting words? Stop spreading propaganda.
That's how it felt. That's how it felt hearing you rip my beloved show apart.
Okay, I have to correct. When you're course correcting, you have to throw the wheel a little hard in the other direction.
Right.
So
right.
I think, don't get me wrong, I really liked Avatar: The Last Airbender. That was really good. The problem is the ending just straight up falls short because it fails at a fundamental level to answer a question that the show itself was levying at us. That's it.
What's the question?
Should I go over it? Okay. All right. So here we go. And this is indisputable, by the way. No one can argue this. This is the truth about Avatar: The Last Airbender. Now, some people are like, oh, like smooth-brained nerds who don't know what they're talking about will be like, oh, the ending sucked because, like, we didn't know about these giant sea lions.
Lions.
Like that just out of nowhere. Or, like there was just out of nowhere. It was so Deus Ex Machina. Like shut up. That's fine. Okay, I don't give a shit. There's a bunch of dumb shit happening in Avatar. We just like take it, move on. The characters are funny. They're well written. They're well acted. The animation's great. Whatever. That's not the problem. The problem is that the show has been setting up since basically minute one that Aang is a really peaceful dude. He's so peaceful, chill, and he's just down to vibe with everyone, even after his entire country and people have been genocided. He's just down to not kill anyone. The problem is he's the Avatar, and he has to kill one guy, Ozai, the Fire Lord, because he's super dangerous and he's also super evil. The problem is, if he kills him, he goes against his personal moral code. But if he doesn't kill him, then a bunch of bad shit happens because, he's still alive. Even if they, like, imprison him or whatever, he's, like, still a firebender and he's still really powerful and he still has influence. Like, he either has to go or Aang has to bitch out. And there's even that whole episode where he sat down with his past avatars to, like, chit chat with them about what he should do.
Yeah.
And then in the end, and this is where the lion turtle is a red herring for the smooth brain anime watchers. It's not that the lion turtle happens. It's that the lion turtle gives him the opportunity to take option 3. Like, don't compromise your moral convictions and have no consequences for it. And that's where The Last Airbender fails. It fails to make him either not kill Ozai the Fire Lord and regret it, but kind of have his morality intact, sort of, or kill him and accept that his moral system is flawed, but begrudgingly, and he'll never be the same again because he took a life. Like, that should have been the choice.
You're saying it kind of leaves his, like, character progression in a bit of a stasis, right? Like, he just doesn't change.
Yeah, well, he never has to make that choice.
Yeah.
It's like when we've all heard the trolley problem, right? It's the, there's a trolley coming, ahead of the track is one person, is 5 people. You have the chance to pull a lever that will switch the tracks and it'll dodge the 5 people, but it'll hit one person instead. Do you pull the lever? And people will similarly try to bitch out of that and be like, oh, well, what if I put a penny on what if I derail the trolley and no one has to die? It's like, no, you have to choose one or the other. That's the point. You can't, there's no other way. These are the 2 options. You either do nothing or you pull the lever. And
the answer is just pull the lever, by the way. Like, oh.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, the thing and the show tries to bitch out of that. In the same way that people try to bitch out of that particular morality conundrum. Anyway, thanks for coming to my Avatar TED Talk. That's why Avatar The Last Airbender is not as good as you think it is. It's still a solid 7 out of 10. I would recommend to anyone. However, stop sucking its dick.
Avatar bad, you stinky, shut up.
All right, Satan, are you riled?
Smooth brain anime fans? No, I'm not riled. I mean, you're entitled to your opinion. I disagree with it. I still think the ending was fine. I think Aang not really having to make that choice was pretty on brand with the entire show, because, like, Katara sort of had an almost similar choice with her hatred of the Firebenders, and she just kind of chose to not progress as a character, still hate them, but, like, deal with the situation presented to her in Zuko joining and teaching Aang to firebend. I think that was already a pattern established in the show, so I'm not, like, too bent out of shape about it happening. But again, plus, I mean, the animation pretty and the characters are cool, so I'm not, like, I'd rated it like an 8 or a 9. But speaking of ratings and smooth brain anime fans, you know what anime fans are fucking terrible at doing? It's rating things effectively. Everything is either a 1 or a 10. There's no such thing. Like, when was the last time you heard a turbo virgin weeb say, oh yeah, I think the show was I think it was a solid 6 at the end of the day. It had some shortcomings, but it wasn't a terrible show. At the end of the day, it was sort of a mediocre experience, which isn't a bad thing. It's either fantastic, the best shit they've ever watched, or the worst garbage in the history of the universe.
Do you know why they do that? Because people like you put words in their mouths whenever they talk slightly bad about a show they like. And I get fucked.
Well, to be fair, I didn't actually hear you say that you had liked it. I just heard your take on why it was worse than I thought.
I would have prefaced it with saying, I think it's a pretty good show, but, But, I mean, obviously you wouldn't remember that because your anime loving, hating filters, like, person didn't like one aspect of my favorite show, he thinks show bad. Roast live on stream.
Streamer, why don't you like the thing
I
like?
Favorite show is a stretch, buddy. Everyone knows that. With true garbage taste, Bleach is my favorite show.
I haven't watched Bleach, so I can't really comment on it.
Webbs, at least I preface the statement with in true garbage taste. It's not like I'm hiding from what I love. I know Bleach is dog shit.
Yeah, Bleach is dog shit, but I love it.
Nice. Yeah, it's about like Kingdom Hearts. No one will ever sit down and say Kingdom Hearts is a masterpiece without following it up with, but don't fucking play the games.
Oh, absolutely not, dude.
Well, sorry, go on.
Oh no, that was it.
And for similar reasons, to where they both go on for too fucking long and get just too fucking stupid, and the character gets too fucking strong by the end.
This is where I'm thankful to have something like Power Rangers in my life, because I have something I can very clearly point to as, like, noticeably actively bad, but I really love to sit down and watch me some Power Rangers with the boys and just, like, just chill out and watch this garbage show be it.
Yeah, no, I can definitely get that. Like, I've done that with Kamen Rider as well.
Yeah. We call those guilty pleasures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Bleach, at the end of the day, is my biggest guilty pleasure in life. Like, I've sat down and rewatched all of Bleach a good 4 times.
Never.
Okay,
Did.
that's
Like, there's just something about it. It's the anime. It's the Shonen Pro tag. It does really cool thing, and the fucking like Ichigo's theme gets me fucking tingling every time I hear it. Especially when it's been a while. You know the theme, Webs. You know exactly what I'm talking about. The theme is so hype. You hear that shit and you know something fucking insane's about to happen.
Yes, sir.
But I also think Tide Kubo's a fucking coward for not ending it at the Eisen arc.
True. Well, he did the Fullbringer arc after that, right?
Yeah. After
did it 'cause
Ichigo
he needed cash or something, right?
Yeah. This is a problem I have with a lot of like the big shonens is a lot of them you can make the argument the show would have been so good if they ended it at X point. And X point is typically a good conclusive point to end the story, but it just never happens because they make so much goddamn money doing it, even if they're fucking miserable to do it to their poor creation. And also studio execs are fucking garbage and terrible. Ugh. I wish more shonen had the balls to end on good, conclusive story moments.
We did watch Katana Gatari, man.
You know how rare it is?
It ends.
How rare it is to walk away from a shonen fulfilled?
The answer is never.
Hey, Full Metal Alchemist, I think, did a good job of it.
Is that shonen, really?
Yeah, I call Full Metal Alchemist a shonen.
I've never considered that shonen. I don't know why. It's always just been like drama for me. You know what I mean?
Unsure of what exactly qualifies something as a shonen, so I can't really weigh in one way or the other.
Let's see what the traditional definition of shonen is.
Yeah, let's figure.
Yeah.
Live anime science happening here on Blood and
genre. Okay, so it's a genre of Japanese comics and animated films aimed primarily at a young male audience, typically characterized by action-filled plots.
Okay.
In that sense,
yeah, I guess it does fit the like traditional definition, but like compared to other shonens, and it just doesn't feel the same. You know?
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Or maybe I'm just like getting confused with like modern day shonen, right? Because when I think shonen, I think like peppy fucking. I think Midoriya nowadays.
Yeah.
15-year-olds have way more power than they have any right to have.
Yeah.
Being moody.
Edward Elric definitely has way more power than he has any right to have. Well, actually, no, he definitely had a right to have as much power and ability as he had. Yeah. Which is interesting to see from a shonen, because it doesn't happen often in a shonen.
It's almost like Full Metal Alchemist is good shonen. I know, it's crazy to think about. But it does happen occasionally.
I'll tell you what's fucking garbage shonen, by the way.
Uh-oh.
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Part 4 and Part 5.
Oh, fuck.
All right, you know what? I can't speak to Part 4, but Part 5 was, like, holy shit.
I'll tell you what mediocre shonen was. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Parts 1 through 3.
I enjoyed Part 2. I've only seen up to Part 3, so like I can't speak on it too much, but I really enjoyed Part 2 a lot.
Let's see if I can... Someone did a Twitter thread that I wholeheartedly agreed with, and they cataloged my thoughts on Part 5 without me having to do it. So let's see if I can't find it.
But right, a bit of an aside.
Let's hear these wrong arguments. Yeah, go for it.
So I was talking to this girl on Tinder, surprise, surprise. And we didn't talk for too long because I'm not going to get too into that part. Anyways, she gave me this like, it was like a list of like 20 names of just anime dudes that she would let rail her. I was like, okay, that's cool. I don't know what to do with this information.
Want me to wear the wig or?
I'm like, I'm sorry, I'll never be a two-dimensional man. I mean, I understand where you're coming from, but
I mean, you are named Webbs 2D.
Oh shit, you're right, actually.
If anything, you are categorically a two-dimensional man.
Yeah, I am the closest you'll get to it.
Basically.
That's it. That's all from my side, though.
Oh, that was a cool story, I guess.
Thanks.
I mean, what prompted this list of extremely fuckable
Oh, we
male
were.
protagonist.
She like. Can you stop saying protagonist? So we were just like, I
You
was
prefer me to
asking her
say
like,
antagonist.
I fucking hate you. So we were just like talking about like what anime she's into, and she was like a cosplayer and shit, and she just started going off about who she would let smash her brains out.
That was it. Huh.
Yeah, that was it.
Well.
It was unprompted.
Yeah, the this is a really long twit longer that I haven't read through in a while, but the TLDR
Just
is
the TLDR.
there's no actual like character growth that ever happens. And this is like a weak part in JoJo's in general, but like I think part 5 it really happens really bad. Mr. JoJo never gets stronger. They never learn from their experience. Our character's worldview never changes. It's always just like the same shit, and no one ever fucking changes. There's no difference between your cast of characters between episode 5 and episode 35. No one it's just all the same. I don't think JoJo's fights works in like the idea of like more of a outthinking your opponent with your special boy powers as opposed to outfighting your opponent. I don't think that works in a battle shonen format. And lastly, I think the art was fine a fair bit of the time, but there were also times where it was really bad, and the same can be said about the animation.
I thought the show looked largely great. There were maybe a few parts where it didn't look as great, but I mean, you're gonna find that in basically any anime, so I'm not sure if that's
I can agree
terribly
with that,
meaningful.
No. I know what like Austin's talking about, because I could even in parts like 1 through 3, I could definitely point out some as an artist, I could point out the points that I did not like aesthetically, and you could like take a look at the anime and go back to the manga and see it was done way better in the manga, and they just like.
Yeah, I've
shit the
also
bed.
heard that I would enjoy part 5. Like, I would enjoy JoJo's a lot more as an experience if I read it, and that's probably true. But it also, like, I think in a manga format, the idea of JoJo's fights would probably be a bit better. I don't think it would change my opinion on like characters never fucking changing and that making for a boring story to me personally. Also, just like the story and writing is kind of weak in general.
I'll say one thing about the characters changing thing. I mean, it's a fine observation, but I don't think it works as a criticism because it's predicated on the idea that a character has to, I guess, change.
It's less okay. So, and this is like where it's like me personally, in my opinion, to where I am more interested in stories and things where there is change in the character throughout it, as opposed to like I don't think it has to happen. And I'm at the end of the day, I will meme on the point that I think it's dog shit, but at the end of the day, I'm also a enjoy what you enjoy type of person. And so I don't think, if you enjoy stories where your characters don't change throughout it, that's also like fine. That's just like your opinion versus my opinion on what is entertaining storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it focuses more on character discovery as opposed to character growth. It's like characters aren't necessarily changing, but you're learning with each battle what new lengths they will go to for each other. Like the guy with the rewind moody blues or whatever. Like the part where they find that he like slammed his face or whatever, or his stance slammed his face into the rock to get an imprint of the guy who killed him was pretty cool. And like that's not a point of character growth, but that moment sort of defines what the show is going for as opposed to character growth. It's more like we're just going to keep demonstrating in new and interesting ways how the characters operate as like a unit in one way or another.
I also just didn't like King Crimson versus like Golden Experience Requiem. I didn't like the stands in part 5 like at all, or their abilities.
I found all of the fights to be really cool because every single one of them was super deadly. Like you never got the sense that like this is just kind of a fun fight. This is like every single thing they go up against is like, whoa, this guy's mean serious business.
Yeah, like this really matters.
Yeah, like the stakes always felt high for me.
Does it? I don't know. To me, at the very base level, it's like King Crimson casts Time Erase, and then Golden Experience Requiem just casts a spell. Like, where is the tension in that, right?
I don't actually remember how that fight went. It's been a little while, so I can't exactly speak to the final fight or final encounter. Although, what I can say is that something that made me appreciate Part 5 a little bit more was Super Eye Patch Wolf's video on it, where he does a lot of good work on illuminating some of the themes in Part 5. This is actually something that I think we need to think a little bit more about when we talk about art criticism and stuff like that. Like, the point of an art critic isn't, or a critic in general, isn't just to like evaluate one way or the other. It's to you can actually actively influence the way people perceive something, right? Like, if you point something out that they hadn't noticed before, you can affect change in that way through criticism. And I think Super Eye Patch Wolf did a really good job with Part 5. I don't know if you've watched that, or if you know who Super Eye Patch Wolf is.
Yeah, if you don't know who he is, I would absolutely recommend it.
Yeah, I'll definitely check it out.
Yeah, he's a good content creator.
He does a really good job sort of going into the bits and pieces.
Yeah. He also actually made me give a shit about like pro wrestling. It's kind of wild.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. I fucking, from a distance, I don't actively keep up with it, but for what it is and like the history behind it, I fucked with the pro wrestling heavy.
Yeah, for sure.
I will say another stab at you, disgusting, unwashed weebs is a lot of times it's like, I don't know, painfully annoying to not even change a weeb's mind once they've sort of made up their mind on something, but more so just like, I don't know, try to share a new perspective with them, you know?
Yeah, those are the worst. You could say that about
yeah, that's definitely true for like a lot of diehard fans of X, right?
Yeah, anyone that
diehard haters of Y.
Yeah, anyone that enjoys any type of media, if they cannot willingly or like openly discuss both the flaws or the pros and the cons of a show, am I using that correctly?
Yeah.
Anyways,
that's right.
If they can't like openly discuss that kind of shit without like just being a cunt about it, what's the point? You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Satan.
Yeah, you fucking asshole.
I shared my reasoning for not liking it. You shared your reasons for liking it, and gave me a thing to watch to give more input, and I said, I will check it out.
No, your brain's stinky. You're stupid.
Obama already infinitely wise. Don't need more wisdom. So there's another anime that we should definitely watch. I've already watched it, so I'm kind of cheating, although I will watch it again. It's Asobi Asobase. I've mentioned it before. It's on Verve and maybe Crunchyroll. I actually don't know what it's on, but I watch my shit through my friend's Verve account. It's sort of in a similar vein as Sakamoto because it takes place in a school, and it's about really over the top dumbass characters. But it's really good. It's really, really funny. I don't know if I've laughed as hard at an anime as I did with Asobi Asobase. Love is War is a close second.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, I actually I would like to watch an episode or two with you guys. I think that'd be pretty cool. And then we can branch off into our own shit. But
I still really want you guys to watch fucking Haruhi.
Which one is that? Is that the?
Yeah,
The Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya. It's a fantastic anime that I can't really. It's one of those shows that like the point is going into it knowing nothing because it gets revealed as you go. It's about like Steins Gate in that regards. If you guys have seen Steins Gate.
I have.
I still need to
Weebs
watch.
haven't for some goddamn.
Oh, actually, Steins Gate would be an easier anime to sit down and watch like that because Steins Gate is only like 12 episodes for the good part.
Steins Gate is fucking heavy though. I don't want to watch it again. I mean, it's like so fucking. It's heavy as in like. It's heavy just as in like. Shit happens and
yeah.
Like, oh damn! It's like you're like this is really good. I'm struggling to keep watching the show.
it's a show that takes a lot out of you as a viewer.
Yeah, it takes a lot out of you.
Just like draining.
Yeah, draining emotionally. Good draining. Good emotionally, but nonetheless, it's not.
That does not make it any less draining, nor in an emotional capacity. That's fair.
It's not a simple watch.
Haruhi's less so heavy and less so draining, but it's also not a simple watch.
How many
so like the
episodes is
whole there's 2 seasons and like let's see. The melon. I think I want to say 24. Episode list. It's like your standard 2-season anime, right?
Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah, it's 24. But like as part of the whole thing with it, they aired the episodes out of order, which makes sense with like the plot and things, but it also makes it more confusing for you as a viewer. There's 8 episodes that are the exact same with slight things changed throughout it. If you skip through the endless 8, I don't blame you. It's a confusing watch, but
I've
it's you've heard of this and like you sort of know the premise. It's a good watch. It's an interesting watch. It's in my top X. It's an S tier anime in my opinion.
Damn.
I absolutely love Haruhi. I love the idea. I love the premise.
Well, I am opposed to watching it. It's one I haven't seen.
So when I say they broadcasted out of order, you start with the 11th episode if you follow broadcast order, and then you watch the first 2, and then you watch the 7th episode, then the 3rd, then 9 through 10, then 14, then 4. 14 is in season 2, by the way. Then 13, which is also in season 2. Then you watch the last episode of season 1, and then the 5th and the 6th episodes.
What the fuck?
All right, Satan, if you provide the paperwork, I am happy to watch.
Okay, sick, dude.
Yeah, sure.
And we can do another interesting thing where you guys can watch since I've seen it in broadcast order and fairly recently. I can watch chronologically, which is the other way you're supposed to watch it after you've seen it in broadcast, and then we can compare the two.
Okay.
As an experience. Yeah. All right, yeah. I'll give you guys a watching guide.
Nice. All right. This is the second one that you've chosen. So next time,
after this, people take over, please.
Your Weebs will
yeah.
select from our fine anime vintages in our anime wine cellar.
You know, we never wrapped a full-on bow, but if you guys had to give a rating to Sakamoto, what would you rate it?
Out of 10?
Yeah.
I think it's like a solid 6.5. Inching very close to a 7. I didn't love it, and I think it was just above like good. Good being like a 5. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would land it at about, I think, a 7. If the show demanded more of me, then it would be a 6. But the show doesn't demand a lot out of you, and it's not too long, and it's got like a solid like final serious episode that did land, I think, pretty well for me, at least for me. So with all that, it's the sort of show where like the stuff that doesn't work kind of doesn't matter as much because it's not really about those things. You're there for the Sakamoto moments, and there are a couple like fine dramatic moments as well, I suppose. But what's good is good, and what isn't kind of just rolls off your back, I think.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
I
it's
can
like a very
forgive a little
easy
bit more.
watch.
Yeah, it's a smooth watch. It goes down smooth. So
Yeah, I think I'd agree with Wrist on rewatch. I think on my first pass I've had it at an 8. I think I'd bump it down to a 7. I think how you experience it is pretty different too, but because it's such an easy watch, I think it's a fantastic watch to sit down with and watch with friends. To sort
For
of
sure.
add to the atmosphere of what it is. Going through and watching it a second time, I didn't enjoy it quite as much because I didn't have I didn't have friends to sit down and like, point and laugh at it with, right? Which is part of the fun of shows like that is.
Mhm.
But at the end of the day, I do think it's a definite great watch. I do recommend it if you're in the mood for some nice, easy watching comedy anime. And you want to see a guy be
endorse.
so fucking cool.
He's so cool.
He's so cool, dude.
Not fair,
I
dog.
tweak his nipples.
Absolutely torqued nipples.
All right. Well, been going for an hour and a half. So
Oh, on just media alone.
Yeah.
Sick.
hell yeah.
What are the games y'all been playing
Okay.
besides Hades? Hades
Hear
being
me
a
out.
good
I'm gonna let y'all segue into this next one. I'm gonna piece for like a minute. I'll be
one. Yeah,
Okay.
sure.
Perfect.
Now that he's gone.
Now that Webbs is gone, and he's never gonna rewatch this, we can say
Listen
what.
here, you
Oh wait,
motherfucker.
Oh, no,
is what I would say if he was actually gone, but he isn't. So.
All right, thank fucking God.
All right, now he's actually gone.
Yeah, like, fuck that guy.
Fucking
Holy
psyched
shit,
about
dude.
like got him.
Jesus.
He'll never check twice.
No.
He's not rewatching this shit. So, anyway, I've been playing Ring of Pain lately. It's $20 on Steam. It's comparable to Slay the Spire, but it's very different in the sense that you don't build a deck. You more have equipment, and you find equipment, and you boost your stats or gain effects in special ways, and you have to sort of go through this dungeon kind of in a similar way to Darkest Dungeon, where you like sort of wander through nodes, and some of them are safe, some of them are monsters, and a few of them are bosses. And you can, although unlike Darkest Dungeon, you can kind of affect the board with various items or cards or what have you. So yeah, I've been playing that. It's been pretty good. It's not the worst $20 I've spent on a game. I'll probably keep playing it a little bit. I don't know if I don't think it has the longevity of Slay the Spire, which is probably some of the best bucks for time that you could spend in that genre. But yeah, Ring of Pain's neat.
Oh, yeah.
All right, cool. Now that I've missed Wrist's game, Austin, what are you playing?
I'm going through a bit of a game identity crisis in the sense that I'm like having a hard time picking games to pour a ton of time into, but it's also double terrible because they're both games I could, and if I wanted to play one of them semi-seriously, in the sense that it takes all my time, it's good to pour a ton of time into them. So got back into Destiny 2 right when the DLC dropped. I had a friend group who had sat down and we'd gotten Destiny at about the same time, and we said, hey, when the next raid drops, let's sit down and go for the day one clear. And then a year rolled by, and the new DLC dropped, and I got hit up saying, hey, are you still down for the day one clear? Because everyone else is. And so I said, well, fuck, if everyone else is, I don't want to be an asshole. So I started grinding for that and kind of refound my enjoyment with the game. And we got our day one clear. Took 13 and a half hours. It was a grueling experience that I don't know I want to do again. But that's been a good time. I've just been grinding rolls for weapons, doing the Destiny chores and grinding. And the other thing I've been putting a lot of time into is a private server for Dungeon Fighter Online.
Snore.
Which it's like so close to being good and worth my time, but it's not quite there, so I only find myself going back to it to kill time. There's a lot of really good things about it that I like a lot. There's some stuff that is just lacking in terms of general quality of life for the player that modern DFO has. That makes me not want to pour a ton of time into it at the end of the day. But at the same time, I'm still kind of fucking mad at the live version of Dungeon Fighter Online, which released a major update and then took 7 months to release the new raid after everyone was ready in 4. And so I just don't want to go back to live DFO if I do go back to it. And then I am sliding in some Hades runs here and there.
Nice.
How about you, Webbs? What have you been up to?
I was playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and then Austin was like, "Hey, Destiny's Peephole," and so I started playing that again. Bit of some lore. I actually went very hard on Destiny 1. I played year 1 of that, and I played that for a long time. Took a bit of a break, and then jumped back in for Taken King. Played year 1 of Destiny 2. Stayed on till it was like Curse of Osiris, was it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then I was like, that's dog shit. Piece the scene. So I came back for the new expansion. Am I happy? Did I spend money on it? Yes.
Hey, got your money. That's what's important.
Yeah.
Don't lie. You said today this raid is very fun, and I'm very glad to be back into raiding.
Yeah, you got me there. Yeah, so like I am having a good time with it. I do want to go back finish Assassin's Creed at one point. I don't know how long this Destiny kick is gonna last, but we'll see. And then I'm still doing all Weps and Hades and hating life.
Is anyone going to be playing Cyberpunk?
I don't have any intentions
not.
to.
Yeah.
I might. I'm planning, and by planning I mean I have ordered the parts to rebuild my computer, and I'm starting working very soon again, which, great timing. Going through my savings in a very quick fashion into picking up another job.
Hell yeah.
So with a much better computer, I will probably get more enjoyment out of it. So we shall see.
That game, it looks like one of those games I just would not be interested. I don't know what the fucking game's supposed to be about. The only thing I've seen about Cyberpunk is, you get to fucking customize your character a bunch.
That's all I've heard about it too.
Your dick size go bigger with slider. Cool. I don't get it. What's the game about?
I mean, it's a CD Projekt Red game, so it's gonna have like good cutscenes and good graphics and good acting and all that shit. But
yeah,
I have no idea how mind blowing can the gameplay really be, right? Like,
it's not gonna be like. Anyone that has been jerking off the project and has been excited since the E3 reveal trailer is going to be disappointed because it's been so goddamn long and it's been pushed back
absolutely.
so goddamn many times.
Yeah.
But I'm not one of those people, so I might get some enjoyment out of it.
Yeah, if I do end up picking it up, it's going to be way later after the hype dies down and I get to enjoy it for myself. You know what I mean? Like, without the just fucking earful I'm gonna hear from the masses about how either goddamn good this game is or like how dog shit it is.
It just feels like a game that's like became inexplicably famous. Like it just kind of came out of nowhere. I wasn't sure why. It was based on like a trailer. Like, does Cyberpunk have a legacy of some kind? Is this like a sequel?
I have no idea.
I don't know.
I don't think it
I know
is.
Keanu Reeves being included in the project and being in the trailer, I think, is what really made people pop off for it.
Is he?
I don't think that was like the thing that made him pop off. I mean, it was cool that he was in it, but I don't think that was the thing that was like, oh my god, this puts Cyberpunk on the map. People were excited about it before.
I don't know.
Yeah, man. I don't know why they were.
I don't know why.
It just kind of creeped up in there, and now everyone's like pogging out of their fucking minds.
Like, at least with No Man's Sky, we had a trailer that showed you kind of what supposedly you could have done.
Yeah.
Hey, you can do it now.
We can.
Yeah, shoutouts to the No Man's Sky devs, honestly.
Shoutouts to Hello Games.
Is it actually good now?
Yeah.
People said it's pretty playable, pretty good. Like, good, like above average.
Yeah, I got enjoyment out of it. I went back and I played it on release. Well, I didn't buy it on release. I pirated it on release, but
wise choice.
glad I did it that way. I experienced what it was, and it wasn't great, so I didn't continue to play it. And as recently as like earlier this year, a friend was like, "Hey, do you want to? This is on sale, and I've heard it's good. You want to give it a shot?" And we did multiplayer in it. That's like in the game now, and it was a lot of fun. It's for what it is, and what it is, just like a turn off the brain and talk with your friends as you do like a survival game and experience new stuff. It's a good experience. Definitely enjoyed it.
It's just Minecraft in space, right?
Yeah, it's space
that's
Minecraft.
Astroneer.
Oh, okay. I've never played Astroneer.
Neither have I.
Oh fuck! I might have to give it a shot sometime then.
Yeah, definitely a much more enjoyable experience if you do it multiplayer. As is the case with survival games in general, in my opinion.
And most things.
I don't know. At the end of the day, I get burnt on survival games really easily.
Fair,
I think gaming through my my young teenage years and preteen years through Minecraft kind of ruined survival games for me long term. But doesn't mean I don't enjoy them from time to time.
That's fair. There's how I feel about. I have the same sentiment towards like a lot of FPS like multiplayer shooters now, like Call of Duty. I'll still enjoy them, but I'm never gonna buy one on release anymore because it's just like I've done it for so long.
Just want to find a game that Hades has kind of hit that for me, but I would like to find more games that are like masterable but deep.
Yeah,
that makes any sense.
I feel that.
It's like RTSs require like even huger brain than I have to like get into. I don't want to have to do all that homework. Same thing with fighting games, pretty much. So that leaves FPSs, but I'm gonna have to practice my ass off if I want to be any good at FPSs because I don't have any muscle memory from when I was 10 years old screaming at people over Xbox Live. So
I tell you what, you really missed out on the heydays, dude.
I'm okay with having missed out on it.
I think it ruined my formative years, if I'm being honest with you.
It really defined who I was as a person.
It helped me in the long run, I guess, because I have a like thicker skin than some others whenever someone is saying mean things on the internet. But I also got exposed to a lot more racial slurs than like an 11-year-old should ever hear in their life. So,
True.
And
pros and cons.
Accidentally repeat and then get yelled at for repeating them. You're wrecked. Honestly, parents, if you have like a 9 or 10-year-old, now's the time to sit them down and talk them through all the slurs and race and like all the terrible things that they're going to hear and all the swear words, just so that they know to be careful with those words, as opposed to embarrassing themselves saying it, thinking it's just a word you can use.
Also, this is my opinion, but I think being a bit less strict than my parents were, at least, on your kid like swearing around the age of like 11, 12 and beyond, it's gonna happen. They're gonna do it regardless. You know? Honestly, it sounds funny to hear me say, but like around 16, my mom stopped caring, and I think the second my mom stopped caring, the less I ended up swearing overall. Because like you do it because it's a thing your parents don't want you to do, so fuck you, mom and dad. But like, if they're cool with it, then like a lot of times kids just won't care, dude. Tell them you're fine with doing it. Don't do it elsewhere, and they'll probably just like, adhere to that.
Talk to your kids about swear words.
Just talk to your kids. Parents, talk to your kids.
Talk to them about porn.
Yeah.
Scary, but just do it.
Oh, dude, speaking of, you ever... Ooh, I don't know if I want to share this.
Oh. Well.
You ever sit down and watch porn with your parents?
I have
not.
I know.
Would not recommend
it.
It's very uncomfortable. So when I was like 11 or 12, my dad we never had like the birds and the bees talk.
Mm-hmm.
So his version of the birds and the bees, this was like after my parents had split up, so my mom had no say in the conversation. But he takes me to one of his friend's house, and his friend just pops on a porn DVD, and so it's like a scene out of 2.5 Men. I'm the half man. And we're just watching this fucking porn video together, and my dad's friend is being like super weird about it, telling me everything he likes about this girl because apparently it was one of his favorite flicks. And my dad's
That's
like,
weird.
yeah, and my
Parents,
dad's like,
don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that shit. Would not recommend.
Yeah, dodge that bullet. But
So
I'm here to tell you firsthand, not cool.
not
See,
chill.
I learned about, I learned about sex and started watching porn at a pretty young age. I think I was like 3rd, 4th grade when someone told me about sex, right? And then started watching porn around the same time. And then when I was like in middle school, my dad tried to sit down and very vaguely describe how babies happened, and it did nothing. Because one, I already knew, and two, it describing things in very vague details and dodging questions just isn't the way to go about explaining stuff, believe it or not.
Yeah.
True. I
That
was
a very
raised
awkward
Christian,
conversation.
so we had. My dad took me to. What was it? Went to like a hotel room or something like that. Like we went out of the house basically.
I don't like where this story
No.
is.
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
And he had like prepared all this like Christian material on like learning what it meant to be like a man, what it meant to have a penis, like where the penis goes, what the penis does, and I had I had a purity ring for a while. Okay, just that
Nice.
is that sort of thing, and I can't remember if I discovered porn before or after I learned about sex, but it was a very confusing time. So I was like, I don't know why all this stuff is like interesting for me to see, but it's pretty interesting. And we just like never, and it makes sense because it's hard to find the line between like if you're a Christian talking about something and encouraging it, right? Because if you talk about it, it's going to encourage that behavior in some way, shape, or form.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't know. Like, were any of you raised religious? Is that?
So
I was not, no.
it was weird. My early years where I was raised Christian, because I mean that's how my mom was raised, and my parents split when I was 3, so when I lived with my mom, and it was weird. My parents sort of flipped when it came to religion, because when I was younger, I was sort of raised Christian. We went to church. I did vacation Bible school and went to Sunday school and the whole nines, right? And then around like middle school, I just wasn't interested anymore, and my mom sort of stopped being very religious. And around that same time, my dad got like aggressively Christian. It was just really weird. But yeah, so I sort of experienced growing up both Christian and ending up growing up non-Christian, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I wasn't raised Christian, but there was a brief time in high school where I tried to seek out religion on my own. It didn't end well, but
It's a hard thing to do as like a teenager. All that shit's hard as a teenager, honestly.
in more ways than one.
Because like being a teenager, you fall into this trap with your stupid brain, where your stupid brain thinks it knows fucking everything, but your stupid brain knows actually nothing still.
Yeah.
So you back yourself into so many stupid teenager corners that you just shouldn't have been in. If one, you weren't such a stupid teenager, you could have asked your parents, or two, you actually knew the answer and how to go about finding said answer.
Yeah.
I did a lot of stupid shit as a teenager.
I will say this much: one of the worst things and best things you can do for a young teen is giving them the tools to find truth. Because
absolutely.
Yeah, we call that Google.
Well, it's a good thing because you should kids should learn how to think critically at a young age. However,
Yeah, for sure.
they'll also become a huge asshole with it, and they'll think they know everything because now they wield the power of logic and facts.
True.
Except they
It's-
don't, because their stupid teenage
Yeah,
brain
that's-
still isn't developed enough to
Exactly.
wield those powers.
It's a bit of a double-edged sword, right?
It is. But honestly, I don't know what the correct approach is. Like, on one hand, there's like the one approach where it's just like you just straight up roast your teenage kid for thinking they know shit and just have them deal with the trauma afterward, knowing that it'll at least put them in their place mentally. But if you do that, it can also fuck them up. So I don't know what the correct move is. It's like a catch-22. Like, either way has devastating downsides.
I'm personally going to roast my children for knowing nothing. I'm gonna hit them with the hardest pee-pee laugh ever.
You stupid fucking idiot. You think you know
Dumb
stuff. Oh
fucking
my
child.
god, you don't
Your
fucking
brain is so
know,
stupid.
dude. Holy shit, you lack so much critical information, dog. What the fuck are you talking about?
Fucking idiot.
Exactly.
I think teaching your kids early on how to critically think, and also giving your kids an environment where it's okay to fuck up, is sort of like the very important balance. As someone who doesn't have parents, I think that's like an important balance to strike. Or doesn't have parents, doesn't have kids. I have parents, don't worry. As someone who doesn't have kids,
It's a rewind time back to the orphan talk that we had in the. Oh wait, Webbs isn't there for it, but
yeah. I think it's important to teach your kids how to learn things, but also let them make mistakes, and making mistakes being an okay thing, not like a terrifying thing for kids. So that way they can ultimately, because like you can tell a kid to, not to do something, but if they don't ultimately learn why not to do something, they're gonna wonder about doing it, and then eventually end up doing it.
It's more so about like open-mindedness, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, I agree with that.
because I was a shitter as a teenager, but
weren't we all?
I definitely learned a lot, and I feel like I ultimately became better as a person for being a shitter as a teenager, because I was given an environment where fucking up was okay, right? Like, it wasn't the end of the world if my mom found out I, was failing a class. It wasn't the end of the world if I went and got drunk and had to call my mom to pick me up. It was a bad thing, and I was told not to do it, but I was able to learn from the mistakes of making those decisions, and I think that ultimately helped me a ton in life.
I think one definite strat is to sort of Trojan horse knowledge, like, because if you give your kid, like, say, okay, this is how you like think through something, or this is how you dissect an argument. Well, for one thing, they may not understand it, but two, if they do, see above worst case scenario where they both use it and think they know everything because they've used it. What you need to do, and this kind of happened with me, is tell us things, or have us read, okay? Like, have kids read, okay? Even if it's kind of dumb, because sometimes you're just going to read something that you're not going to understand, but that's kind of your entire adolescent life, right? You're just learning things that you don't understand, and when you're like 20 or 25, you're like, oh, right, got it. And the lesson lands like 10 years later. Like, those are the sorts of lessons that you need to give. Like, I think a weird material example is when I was 14 years old, my parents had me read Moby Dick. I skipped a lot of the pages, and I didn't get shit out of it. But I did have that as a baseline to, like, remember the book by, so that I could read it later. I was like, yeah, it was pretty good. So I was able to, like, that's not really an example, I guess, of a lesson coming full circle, but it is sort of, it's a nice example of something that I didn't understand happening to me that I could then use as a reference point from which to, like, gain understanding or knowledge or whatever.
For sure.
Yeah.
It's like future proofing your children.
Yeah.
Yeah, just have your kids
Future
reach-
proof your kids.
It's that easy.
I just want to say what we're doing right now is like one of my favorite fucking things in the world, and it's just having people that are in no way qualified to talk about a thing talk about it extensively.
No, the reason. Okay, so I do feel qualified to talk about this kind of shit.
Yeah, no,
Not
because
have children, but because my parents were so dog shit that I could tell you what not to do.
yeah, I get that. I definitely had that with my dad, and to some extent my mom on some occasions. So definitely feel you on that. But like, me and a bunch of friends, we went to the mountains up near like Boone, North Carolina.
Hell yeah.
And we rented an Airbnb. We brought a bunch of weed, got a bunch of alcohol, and we just had a great time for a weekend, right?
Yeah.
And my now roommate Cody and one of his friends were having like a really in-depth conversation about race, and both white, just for even more clarity.
Okay.
And I think hilarious, and that's where I came up with the idea of the best fucking podcast I've ever thought of, and it's two white guys talk about race. That's just the name.
That's a good name.
Or no, the name would be Two White Guys Talk, and then there's a different topic for each one, right? So
Yeah.
two white guys talk about race. Two white guys talk about gender issues, stuff like that. That also happened in the same weekend. Two different white guys, but it was fucking hilarious.
Yeah. Shout out to white guys.
I'm
I'm
not
only
gonna make
half
the joke
of
I want to
one.
make. I'm
Alright.
only 3/4 of one.
Get fucked.
I know. There's too much white.
Too much white.
What do
Well,
you mix with? What's your other half?
I am half Thai.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Very interesting.
People go for Mexican. Maybe you can see it.
Yeah, thinking about it, I was thinking Hispanic.
Yeah, people usually
of
go
some sort.
Hispanic.
Mhm.
But nope. My mom's Thai. My dad is from Texas.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm 1/4 Puerto Rican. My last name gives it away, with the last name of Torres.
I was gonna say I didn't know Guy was a Puerto Rican last name.
Just to dox myself a little bit more.
100% doxed.
Riz, do you know my name?
Yeah,
Do you?
it's Weebs 2D.
You got me. Wait, no, my real name is Justin.
Oh.
Very boring.
The last name's the really double boring part.
And it's just Smith. My name's Justin Smith.
Jesus Christ. You know,
Yeah.
Now that's
today,
a white guy name.
Today, wait, hold on. People know Musaeus' real name.
I
think-
do not.
Eve's let it slip a couple of times on stream.
Okay, it's basically on the public. So
Yeah.
Musaeus, I don't know his last name. So this is, and on top of that, this is worthless information because his first name is John.
That's such a Musaeus name.
It's
so much
it
sin.
feels so Musaeus, right? Because like
Yeah.
it's, I mean, when
No,
we learned it,
The fucked up thing is it feels so Musaeus, but when Guardian referred to him as John, it hit my ears wrong.
I know, right? It's so texturally different from his online name.
Yeah.
Like Musaeus
It's
is
the
kind
lack-
of elaborate.
Yeah, it's like the lack of syllables that fucks me
Yeah,
up.
you just
So
take away a syllable from a word, and
No, you're taking away like 2 syllables. I don't like that.
oh yeah, 2 even. That's why it's weird. Musaeus
his-
is a short 3-syllable word. Come to think of it.
It is. His parents were definitely asleep at the wheel when they named him. That's all I'm going to say about that one. Mistake.
You want to talk middle names? Which all his middle names?
Just
My middle
fully
name is
dox.
my middle name is Paul, but I never put my middle name literally anywhere.
Same.
My dad's a narcissist. I've told Webbs this. I don't know if I've talked about my dad to you, Wrist, but my dad's actually a narcissistic personality disorder. Undiagnosed, but it's one of those things where you spend enough time around the person and they check all the boxes, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So he gave me his middle name, right? My half brother's middle name is his first name. And my adopted half sister's first name is part of his name. So his name is Andrew. He goes by Drew. My half brother is Tate Andrew. And then our adopted sister from China, by the way, has the first name Mary Drew.
Mary hyphen Drew?
Yes.
Nice.
That poor girl.
That's
what I'm saying.
It's kind of weird.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
So I'm not a huge fan of my middle name. I don't don't know. If it's optional on a form, I never put it down.
Yeah, fair.
My middle name is Windsor. That was also my dad's middle name.
That's so cool.
It is a nice middle name. So I'm not too upset about having it. But
Isn't that like the funny thing about like connections to parents? If the parent's cool, then having that connection's people pog. But if the parent's terrible, then it's a little fucking weird champ to have that connection.
I mean, I feel like that's generally true, right?
Yeah, that's fair.
I just think Windsor sounds fucking
Windsor's
sick.
a pretty fucking sick name.
Yeah.
It's pretty strong. I would prefer something else, like, I don't know. I really like the name Moretti. I don't know why.
Wait, Moretti?
Moretti.
Okay.
Moretti.
I think it's a pretty cool name.
You said Milady for a second.
No, not Milady.
Yeah.
It's very Italian vibes to Moretti.
It is. I think I think I looked it up at one point. It means worker or something, or workman, something like that. I ran into the word / name when my buddy Al was putting together a D&D campaign. We never ended up doing it, but the title of the campaign was fucking sick. It was called Moretti and the Seven Slaves, which is a pretty saucy name, if I do say so myself. Like, yeah. I was like, oh, that's so sick. But we never did it, but the name stuck.
I'm just gonna call you Adam Moretti 13 now.
Dear God. That'll be an inside joke.
How do you feel about, your first name getting used? Because I know it's not something you throw out there all the time, but you haven't seemed directly opposed to like hearing it, and you were like fine with answering when I had asked. So where do you land on your first name being on the internet?
I think it'll be a little. Hold on, I have to sneeze.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Oh, he muted. What a coward.
I actually didn't sneeze.
Pull him out.
Faked out. I think it'll. Honestly, it's kind of weird. So I, in a weird way, I consider Wrist to be my name, on pretty much equal terms as like my real name, Adam, and I will answer equally to both. When I met up with some of my old buddies, this was in New York, they just like call me Wrist. I'm like, yay, that's my name. I didn't bat an eye about it. I was like, yeah, that's me. That's the name you've been calling me this whole time. I had a buddy named Cyber Monkey, and I'd call him Cyber. I had a buddy named Anti. I'd call him Anti. That wasn't his real name. I think it'd be a little odd if someone. No, odd is a strong word. As you said, Satan, it sounds a little tiny bit wrong hearing like the way it lands, especially when everyone like because like I'm Wrist, right? Like everyone knows my handle, or like anyone who knows me knows my handle, but not everyone who knows me knows my name is Adam. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know exactly where I land. I'll answer to Adam, and I won't like roast you for it, but I don't know. That's second base. That's second base.
I just wanted to gauge general comfort, because like I know Webbs doesn't even answer to his name 9 times out of 10 if you call him
Well,
the way
'cause
he had said.
Well, no one ever calls me my name.
Yeah.
Like, not a lot of people know it. Just because I'm just Webbs, dog.
No.
I'm here. I'm chilling. Like, you can call me whatever, and if you ask me what my name is, I'll tell you. But you can just call me whatever.
I don't know. My brain's weird. Sometimes, like, I've definitely had it to where I've been around people that have exclusively referred to me as Satan, and like that's my name on the internet, right? It you just sort of accept it and you answer to it, and it just becomes like a thing, right? But I don't know. I started to feel like I answered less and less to my actual name, and it got to the point where it felt weird to me. So I started putting my name out there a bit more. I don't know. It's just one of those weird things that I ended up feeling weird about it after the fact, but retrospectively is the word I was looking for. But
yeah, that's fair. I think
I
one
don't
thing
know.
I've always really liked about because personally, I prefer like when my family calls me Justin, it feels weird nowadays, right? Because
Right.
they don't say my name often. But like when I talk to my friends online and they call me Webbs, like it makes me I don't want to say like happy because
It's
like
familiar.
Yeah,
I feel like
it's a very
I
familiar
am
thing.
Webbs because that's just like it's a name you get to choose for yourself, and that's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
I
know what I mean?
also my fucking online handle has like real shitter origins. The one that I ended up sticking with. I've gone by multiple different names, but literally the whole like reason I picked Satan is a chill guy is I started watching Twitch more and I saw, streamers say the name. And I thought, what would be a funny name for streamer to say? And that I arrived on Satan is a chill guy because, it's a lot oxymoronic and, I don't know. It's just something I kind of settled on. It's gotten a lot of laughs out of people that haven't heard the name before. But I also, at a later time, sort of realized that not everyone was comfortable calling me Satan. You have the people that default to chill and stuff.
That's me.
And chill also made me feel uncomfortable to hear because I had heard I've heard myself only ever be referred to as like Austin, and then later on while on the internet Satan, and so being referred to chill felt really weird. So I liked giving people the option C of just call me Austin. It's fine.
Your name it does present a interesting problem. Like for me, I don't have a problem calling you Satan, but I'm like, just devoid of context. It does sound like I'm like I have to remind myself that I am in fact using the name Satan, Lord of Lies, from biblical canon. So, I mean,
It just doesn't roll off the tongue really well.
Well, it rolls off fine. Like I'm fine with calling him Satan, but like I'm not saying, like when I call Satan, I am not using the name Satan from the biblical canon. I am saying syllables that mean Austin.
Right.
Right. If that makes any sense. So like I'm not even registering like what word is coming out of my mouth really. It's just like it's meaningless aside from the person I'm referring to. And it's kind of hard to keep in mind that I am actually just saying Satan.
Yeah. Plus, I don't know. At some point, I reached a point of just not fucking caring if my name is out there. I feel like that's like, I don't know, a really old internet like thought, right? Can't have your name out there. Can't have anything about yourself out there.
Yeah.
Well, if you're big, maybe. But I don't know. It depends.
I think if you're big, you want as little out there as possible. But I also know like of larger people that, like I think old internet thought is like, okay, well they know your first name, they're gonna very easily find your last name. From that, they're gonna find where you live, and
well,
I think people.
I don't think it's a fear thing. I mean, it can be a little bit, and if you're not thinking deeply about it, then that's probably the reason you would probably give. I think it's more a matter of like, for the same reason people take time to show their faces and stuff. It's not because they're afraid someone's gonna look them up and like, I don't know, whatever. It's more like there's like when you go online, there's a barrier between you and the environment you've chosen to put yourself in. And, you know, I'm not Adam, I'm Wrist, and like that's not my real name, but that's who I choose to be now. And as time goes on, like it's like with any relationship, the more you share about yourself, the more that person is, you know, close to you. I was only half kidding when I said, you know, calling me or someone else by their first name, or at least it feels like you're getting to second base, right?
Right.
It's like, you know, but once you've shown the internet your face and share your name, you're basically friends with the internet now. And that's a step that I think some people just
that's a good
hesitate
point.
to take. Like Vareem doesn't, like, we know him as Vareem and we don't know what his face is, and he's just like, I mean, he's there and we know what he is, and to some degree we know who he is, but I think he's like sort of drawn a relationship line in the sand between him and the internet, right? It's like my function as a person on the internet is to play a video game fast, and that's the extent of it. I mean, obviously he's a friendly guy and he's a good guy. I'm not saying like he's dodging that, but like he's not there to be the internet's friend. He's there to provide it a specific kind of service or role. And going past that, you know, it's like, you know, once you go over to your doctor's house and have a drink or whatever, you've crossed a certain barrier, right? And that's I think
it's just like setting up boundaries.
Yeah, and that line is different
that's
for everyone. So
yeah, for sure.
it's probably where I think the fear of, or not fear, but the hesitance to give a name or a face lies.
I will say there's interesting to see people that do give a name or do give a face or both, but they still manage to maintain that line very well. Like, we know what Bablo looks like, but I don't feel like I know the guy any better. Even like he hung out with us post Hermes Cup, but I don't feel like I know the guy better. I think that's just how some people are on the internet at the end of the day.
Feel like
that's
I
fine.
Know him better. I do feel a little bit closer to him though.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't think there's like anything wrong with that though. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
no.
I don't think there's like a right or wrong.
There's nothing innately wrong about having boundaries, you know?
Yeah, for sure. If anything,
there's nothing
I respect
wrong,
it a lot.
period. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's different for everyone, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, all right, y'all. We've been going for about 2 hours and 15 minutes. I think this is a pretty good. I think we've reached a fine stopping point.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd say so.
I'm tired of talking, you fucks. Get out of here.
Honestly, this is too long. Time you could have been spending streaming.
Pussies.
Yeah. So, how do we close this out?
Did you hear SatanIsAChillGuy made a Meg guide?
I did make a Meg guide.
He did make one. You guys should watch. Who the
almost
fuck?
Up to,
can I be real for a moment?
Viewers, by the way.
Who the
700 views. Yeah.
Who the fuck has watched / listened this far? We've been talking
Good
about
question.
bullshit for 2 hours.
Shout out to you.
Shout out to
whoever you
makes
are.
it to the end of this shit.
Comment I was here, just down below.
Yeah,
and then
honestly.
don't add any more context.
will
Just
be
drop
on the
the
test.
I was here.
You want to take bets? I'm going to bet at least 2 Leos makes it this far.
Oh yeah, Julio's there.
Julio's might.
I think Donko may throw us on in the background at work or something.
Really?
Shout out
What do
to
you
you,
put up?
Dunk.
Would he?
I think he would. He'd put us on in the background of something, maybe offline grinding or something.
If he can listen to our streams, he can listen to this.
Yeah, exactly.
Put
That's
all
fine.
3 of us at once? Ooh.
Oh, I don't know.
That is a lot.
Yeah.
Sure. Well, in any case, this was episode 0 of Blood and Talkness.
Yeah, did we ever give the name?
Did we ever
like,
give
at
the name?
beginning?
It'll be in the title,
think we
okay?
did.
People will
Yeah,
know.
it'll be in the
all
title.
right. It's welcome to Blood and Talkness, where we talk about Hades and other things that aren't Hades related. This should go at the start, not the end, but here we are.
Editing magic. Go.
No. We're gonna keep all the scuffedness
Yeah.
as far as possible. My phone beeped and my microphone probably picked it up, so we get amazing
Dude.
sounds from
It's fine. My phone rang like 20 times.
I don't know if you heard it.
I started picking up on my mic, so
Oh, okay.
okay.
I don't know. Well, anyway,
Anyways, yeah.
what are we watching again next time? What anime?
Okay.
The Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya. I'll give you guys a watching guide. I'll probably just type it out in BNTVC text and
thank you.
pin it up for you guys.
Nice. Where can we
Trust
find
you to
this?
watch it
Is
on your
this
own.
available on Verve or something?
I think it's on Funimation site
Oh,
actually.
okay, that works.
So it makes it even easier for you.
Yeah. Free anime. All right. Well, this is Wrist signing off. LOL.
Anyways, fuck you.
Peace.
Okay, bye.